in that starting five for Spain. And remember, their bench really saved them the other night against Greece. So Scariolo knows he can go deep. Scariolo, an Italian, but was appointed coach of Spain after the 2008 Olympics when they finished runners-up after that thrilling gold medal game when they were being coached by Aito Garcia-Renesis. For Serbia, it's Veličković, Kostoperović, Nemanja Bjelica, Milos Teodosic, and Alexander Rasic, who really made a couple of unbelievable plays at the end. In the final 10 seconds on an inbounds, went down and made a layup, and then streaked from half court down to draw a foul and make the game-winning free throws against Croatia. Ivkovic has been around the block, and he's very eager. He's anxious, I think, to make amends for last year, even though he's not talking about it.
Wily old fox that he is, Ivkovic, not starting with Nenad Kristic, the man who was suspended for the first 3 games in Group A. He's a key member of that team, and he definitely adds something when he comes off the bench.
Well, perhaps a mild surprise because he was so effective against Ante Tomic. So maybe the thinking goes Kristic will be a better matchup against Fran Vazquez. Vazquez has been playing about 16 minutes per game for Spain. Well, you're looking live inside the Sinan Erdem Dome here in Istanbul, Turkey. It's the FIBA World Championship opening day of quarterfinals. 2 quarterfinals today. The first one, Serbia and Spain, a rematch of last year's Eurobasket final that was won by the Spaniards. Of course, in that Spanish team was Pau Gasol. Spain now trying to prove they can defend their world title without Pau Gasol, the most valuable player of the 2006 FIBA World Championship. I'm joined by Roy Birch. And Roy, it's a thriller is on the cards, I suspect.
Well, I think we've got a thrilling evening all told, Jeff. Don't forget this is followed by Turkey against Slovenia, and the fans are in for a real fest tonight. Marc Gasol there has done a great job stepping into his bigger brother's footsteps. Did a great job after Pau Gasol was injured in the semi-final 4 years ago. And no qualms whatsoever about starting for Spain.
Well, that was kind of the coming out party for Marc Gasol, because when Fran Vazquez got injured, he pulled out of the 2006 squad. Marc Gasol came in, and there's the big man right there, Pau Gasol, in the broadcast booth today, doing for Spanish television. And I think it's very important for everybody, for all of these teams, to make the point that even though some of the stars like Tony Parker's and the Andres Nociones or Manu Ginobili's haven't come this year, the guys that have turned out have made this a spectacular 2014 FIBA World Championship. Players like Rasic, who wasn't even in the team last year, but the injury to Joris Tripkovic has allowed him into the side. And Navarro, one of the greatest Spanish players of all time.
Navarro spent 1 year in the NBA and then decided that his future lay in the ACB, came back to Barcelona, led them to a EuroLeague Final Four and a winning situation in this year's EuroLeague.
Well, he was voted MVP of the EuroLeague his very first year back. And last year they almost had 4 trophies before they were upset by Caja Laboral in the title series in the Spanish ACB.
George Oberhoser, who spent a year at Khimki with coach Scariolo, but now back in his native Spain with Real Madrid.
Well, the opening quarterfinal, welcome to Turkey, between Spain and Serbia at the FIBA World Championship. And Spain have won the opening tip. It goes over to Ricky Rubio, who hasn't really been on track in this FIBA World Championship. And a little bit of contact, no call, as Rudy Fernandez lets it go, and as Bjelica now goes to the other end. Bjelica drafted by Minnesota, or actually his rights obtained by the Minnesota Timberwolves, but he's going to remain in Europe and play at Caja Laboral in Spain. Velickovic, who plays at Real Madrid. And you can pretty much see that these Serbian players are fired up for this game. Rubio into the lane. Decides not to go up against his future Barcelona teammate, Perovic, and instead it's Marc Gasol. Marc Gasol back out to Garbajosa with 3 on the shot clock, short. Inauspicious start for the Spaniards. Teodosic for 3. Misses badly, so perhaps still carrying the hangover from his 8th final against Croatia. Navarro stops and pumps.
Well, one of the most interesting matchups here is young Ricky Rubio against Milos Teodosic, here defending it against each other at both ends of the court. And at the moment, I'd say Ricky Rubio just about got the edge on Teodosic.
Rasic dumps it off to Kosta Perovic. Well, Rasic is really a key man. I mean, he's not the 12th player in the squad at all. He is a vital member of this team, which once again speaks to the depth in Serbian basketball that they could bring somebody like that in. Navarro, a little bit out of control. Referee's letting him play. 5 on the shot clock. Navarro, short, and Bjelica with the board. Over to Teodosic. Cross court to Rasic. Serbia moving quickly. Turnover to Juan Carlos Navarro. Teodosic tried to pick up the foul. Did not execute it.
Very interesting officiating so far. Teodosic definitely reached in there to foul, and the referee said, forget it, let's have the layup.
Well, they really are letting him play. Rudy was bumped the other time down. And look at the physicality with Rubio, almost forcing the steal. 9 on the shot clock. Teodosic over to Velickovic for 3. Good!
Well, I think this is all about which team realizes the sooner that the referees are going to let a lot of things go. So many fouls being committed and none called yet.
Well, certainly the play is physical. Gasol drives in, and the 7-footer gets on the board. He struggled against Greece, and he's had some tonsillitis. So Marc Gasol, coming off that great year at Memphis, looking to get back to his best. Bjelica on the baseline. Good! And they do call a foul. So a chance for a 3-point play.
First foul of the game, and it's Rudy Fernandez, a man who's been largely invisible so far.
I mean, compared to the contact that we were seeing before, that was a very touch foul.
Well, as I said many times before, one of the big jobs of the referee is to protect shooters, and I suspect that's what the referee had in mind there. Little touch on the elbow, it went in anyway, but the bonus shot was missed.
From the corner, Rudy Fernandez off the rim, and Velickovic, who's doing a little bit of everything for Serbia right now, takes it to the other end. Garbajosa out on Rasic. Spain sitting back on D, and Rubio gets the rebound. And the reach and the foul on Bjelica. So Serbia intent on not allowing Spain to get anything moving quickly on that fast break.
Well, with very few fouls being called, what it actually means is the game is going to be over in a trice.
Rubio bounce pass to Marc Gasol. Chance for a 3-point play. The call made by Estevez, the Argentinian referee.
A little wag of the finger from Velickovic, or rather Bjelica, saying no foul, ref, but 2 fouls on Serbia's number 8.
Nemanja Bjelica has actually drawn comparisons to Toni Kukoc because of his passing ability. But he's a great defensive player, a good shot blocker, and only scratching the surface of his potential right now. I think the Timberwolves have a very good player. Rasic. Now 10 seconds on the shot clock. Bjelica for 3. Good! averaging not too many points per game. Memory serves me correctly.
Oh, that's downtown Garbajosa.
Well, Garbajosa brings him right back. I was just looking to Bielitsa. He's averaging 5.5 points per game, but he's had a confident start. But that Spanish experience reacts quickly.
And that was way, way outside the arc.
Teodosic gets it back, and Teodosic is just not in sync. And a terrible pass from Garbajosa right back to Velickovic. And the foul is on Navarro.
Smart foul from Navarro. Recognized the fact that Spain were outnumbered. A couple of Spaniards had gone on the fast break. They lost the ball. And then a very smart professional foul from Juan Carlos Navarro.
Teodosic for three. Gosh, he just continues to struggle, and Rudy somehow falls down, hands the ball off to Navarro, and Garbajosa. Two bad passes in a row from Jorge Garbajosa, who then falls down and allows Bielitsa a two-handed dunk. Very strange sequence for Jorge Garbajosa.
Well, that's a couple of Spaniards who've fallen over now, Garbajosa and Navarro.
And Rudy. Garbajosa puts the ball on the floor. And Serbia's Perovic knocks it over to Teodosic. Now Razic. Velickovic. That's three. Three balls. Nope, they're calling it a two.
Yeah, just right foot on the line. Well spotted by the American referee.
There, Rubio. Gasol over to Rudy. And no good. And, you know, Bielitsa, no hesitation whatsoever. They've really started shooting the ball well, with the exception of Teodosic. Serbia 4 of 7 from three-point range, and Felipe Reyes is going to come into the game at the next opportunity. 7-point game for Spain, trailing against Serbia. Rubio goes hard to the basket, denied.
Boy, it's tough in there.
Here comes Velickovic. Hands it off to Bielitsa, and he's fouled. And Serbia looking like a team that definitely will not be denied today. We've got a timeout on the floor called by Sergio Scariolo. Serbia liking what they're seeing right now. Their team leads it 20-17. Here's another look at it. Garbajosa slipping, and that allowed Serbia actually to kind of get their noses in front.
2 or 3 times now Serbia have outrun Spain with wretched turnovers from the Spanish guards. Look at that, 4 from 4 from 2-point range and 4 from 7 from 3 points. For Serbia, they lead by 7.
Those Spanish fans have traveled, but it's not going their way right now. It's going the way for the Serbian fans. Some of the best basketball in the world has been played in that country, and they've produced some of the great basketball players. And you're looking now at a new generation of Serbian basketball players like Bielitsa.
2 subs coming for Spain. Felipe Reyes, number 9, and Raul Lopez, number 8.
Just thinking this time last year, Spain would have been making a commitment to get the ball inside to Gasol, Pau Gasol. See if they try to establish anything down low. Not quite as formidable without the 7-footer from the Lakers. Raul Lopez outside. Over to Rudy Fernandez. Navarro hands it off to Felipe Reyes. Over to Fernandez in the corner. And off the back of the rim. And great rebound from Velickovic, who's a teammate of Reyes at Real Madrid.
Well, I thought my eyes had deceived me then. I think Serbia are sitting back in a 2-3 zone, and at the moment it's working.
Yeah, Velickovic has really come out strong today. He's got 10 points already, and there's still 2.5 minutes to go in the opening quarter.
And Serbia back into a man-to-man, so switching defenses.
Navarro for three. Good.
The go-to man for Spain.
No substitute for experience, and Alex Mumbrú is going to come into the contest as well. Remember what we said at the top of the show, Spain's bench really played well against Greece. They're going to need a lift from them today as well. Velickovic goes baseline. And good board from Rudy Fernandez. Labamba pulls up against Razic. Velickovic comes out to meet the Barcelona guard. Raul Lopez decides to bring it back. And the dump to Marc Gasol. Bounce pass into Felipe Reyes. Well, talk about the commitment to get it inside.
Great pass there from Navarro, and somehow Marc Gasol held onto it, and then a sweet little bounce pass into Felipe Reyes.
And Teodosic finally gets on the board here. He had 3 points the other day against Croatia. So that's his first basket of the day, and it takes it back to a 7-point lead. Boy, physical defense. Navarro trying to get away, and Razic doing everything he can to stick to him, and Navarro finally finds some space.
Well, Razic was wrestling Navarro all through the lane then. How on earth he got free and nailed the three as well. Teodosic in again.
Oh, Teodosic perhaps sensing a slight mismatch going up against Raul Lopez. Nobody for Spain dropping down to help Lopez.
Oh, we have a very, very angry Coach Ivkovic. Well, angry at Teodosic perhaps this time. Raul Lopez does draw the foul, his first.
So Razic takes a well-deserved break, as well as Kosta Perovic, and Nenad Krstić comes in. Stefan Markovic checking in, Milinko Tepic checking in. Teodosic out.
Great matchup now, Krstić against Fran Vasquez. No, Serbia back in a 2-3 zone, I think.
Mumbrú.
No, it's not, it's switching.
And Navarro. Oh, he's just so clutch for this team. They need a basket, and he senses it. And here in the final minute of the first quarter, Serbia now can hold on to it for the last shot unless Spain come up with a steal. And the foul called on Lopez. They had one to give. Next one will put them in the bonus. 2-3 zone with Vasquez in the middle for Spain. Markovic holds it. Tepic from Panathinaikos hands it off to Velickovic, and he's short. Took it a little quickly. Lopez puts it up. Oh, and he almost hit it. That would have been something else, but it stayed out. And Serbia, who were looking really dangerous there for a minute, like they might run away from Spain, ran into Juan Carlos Navarro, and he's brought Spain back. They trail it by 4.
8 points for Navarro, and that's brought Spain right back into it. Serbia, as you say, Jeff, were running away with it at one stage. Phenomenal game from the outside for Serbia, but Juan Carlos Navarro, the old head, brought them right back into it with 8 points. Not much between the rebounds there. 8 for Serbia, 7 Spain.
Well, the tone was set early on when the officiating crew, pretty much, the refereeing crew pretty much allowed some play to go on, even though there was some contact. And really, it looks like it's a very physical encounter that we're in store for it. And if they play the way they have been playing for the rest of the game, these guys are going to be exhausted by the end of the contest. I don't remember seeing Serbia playing quite this hard against Croatia.
But Russia exerted an awful lot of physical pressure on New Zealand. But that was just one particular team in that game doing that. Here we have both teams exerting an awful lot of physical contact and, to me, putting an awful lot of pressure on the referees. But 3 guys out there, I'm sure they can handle it.
Well, now Spain in a man-to-man. Serbia must have thought they were going to face a zone, and Krstić goes in and is fouled by Reyes or Vasquez. On Vasquez, his first. Not sure what Vasquez did there out of your screen, but Krstić is a veteran, knows how to get to the free throw line.
Well, Nenad Krstić apologized to everybody in the world of basketball for the shenanigans in the Acropolis tournament in Greece when he was suspended for 3 games. And you never know, those 3-game suspensions, they may have done him some good. He's come out here refreshed. This is his 3rd game in the tournament. Other players, it's their 6th or even 7th.
Well, on that evidence, it hasn't done anything for his free throw shooting. But to be fair to him, he did shoot quite well from the line against Croatia. Raul Lopez, bounce pass to Felipe Reyes. And Reyes had a layup and whistled for the foul, taking it back. Watch this. You don't get much better opportunities. Frustrating for Garbajosa and San Emeterio to watch that one.
Well, evidence there, the fact that there is a great big hole, if you can find it, in a 2-3 zone. Felipe Reyes found it then, but missed the bucket.
So Spain in the man. Savanovic drives in, and Mumbrú with the rebound. And up quickly to Sergio Llull, who's come in as well, another Real Madrid player on the floor. And Felipe Reyes goes around, and great help defense from Nenad Krstić. Affected that shot. Reyes won't want to look at the replays the last 2 trips down. Marko Kelsic can hit it. And good job from Lopez boxing out Markovic.
Well, amazing to see actually both teams with 2nd-string teams out there. No starting 5 players as yet.
Well, Llull now with the shot clock winding down to 4. Mumbrú has to take a shot in the lane, and good rebound from Nenad Krstić. Now it's Milinko Tepic, and Krstić again trying to post up Fran Vasquez. Raul Lopez on Markovic. 5 on the shot clock. Markovic shakes and bakes, kicks it outside to Nenad Krstić, and he hits it.
First score of the period and 2 minutes played. Evidence of some tough defense out there. Not quite the biggest lead of the game, but very close. Serbia by 6.
Dusan Ivkovic being told the next time one of his players interferes with the ball when it comes through the hoop, it's going to be a technical.
Yeah, it's a good way of stopping a fast break if you can get away with it.
Lopez over to Mumbrú for 3. Good! Now another one of the more unsung heroes of Spain is Juan Carlos Navarro watches as Alex Mumbrú, who did play in that world title winning side in 2007, has been in every Spain team since. So there is experience as well coming off that bench. Bounce pass. Krstić and swatted by Vasquez. And up ahead to Sergio Llull. He led him just a little bit too much, and Llull brings it back out. Llull. And the foul on Markovic.
Yeah, lazy foul there, Markovic. Let his man go, and then right in front of the official on the baseline. Gave him no choice. So Spain back to within 3.
And now, as we look at Markovic, Dusan Ivkovic is going to come over and ask why was it a shooting foul, but that was Vasquez as well, swatting it at the other end. Ivkovic doesn't believe this should be a shooting foul. What do you think, Roy? Did you see it?
Well, I'm always amazed that when coaches go to ask somebody why did that happen or what was the cause there, what was the call, and they ask the commissioner has no control over it whatsoever. Ask the guys out there. Ask one of the 3 officials.
Navarro, or rather Raul Lopez out, Ricky Rubio in.
It's a 1-point game.
Spain upping their defense here against the Serbian second team. Although it's probably a little bit harsh to call it the second team. Markovic drives in, blocked again. And the defense from Fran Vasquez, as was the case, almost the cardinal sin by Rubio. And Markovic picks up another foul.
Great rescue there from Ricky Rubio, and he drew the foul on Markovic.
Look at Vasquez, just as he did against Greece. And then again, goes up and make sure there's not going to be any other offensive rebounds given away. So Dusan Ivkovic calls a timeout. Savanovic and the Blues, they want to talk about it, leading by 1. 2 fouls on Markovic, and that was really kind of a silly foul. I can understand if you're trying to disrupt a fast break, but I just don't understand that one.
Well, that's the second foul he's committed, and they've both have been of the same ilk. Right in front of the referee, one-on-one situation, just reaching in. Move your feet, Stefan. Nothing separating these teams as far as rebounds are concerned. But Serbia still lead by 1. Now I wonder whether we'll see Ivkovic changing his lineup now and bringing some of his starting 5 back out.
3-pointers as well, falling for both teams now. Serbia, curiously, just 1 of 5 at the free throw line. That's where they've lost some opportunities. And Spain have missed a couple of easy shots as well.
But it does help when someone comes off the bench like Alex Mumbro and nails a 3. Former Juventus Badalona and Real Madrid player now. Many people thought coming towards the end of his career he's gone to Girona. Sorry, Bilbao, but well, still a quality player.
Oh yeah, well Bilbao's a good club. Any club in the ACB is good, in the ACB. And the bounce pass goes out of bounds, but it's going to stay with Spain. Bilbao making it, I think, pretty far in the Euro Cup last year to the Final 4. Coached by Fotis Katsikaris.
Yeah, came 3rd this year.
Rubio into the lane, over to Yule for 3. Off the rim, and Krstić with the board. Teodosic back in for the Blues. So Markovic is out, and Kesselj remains in the game. And Krstić affected by the presence of Fran Vasquez. And they wanted to travel, and good call by the ref. Looked like he dragged his foot. Watch. Okay, he stops. Yep. Fact.
Close call. Yeah, those long arms of Fran Vasquez giving Nenad Krstić a hard time inside that Spanish key.
Marko Kelsic left wide open. That's a 3.
I've lost count the number of times at the group stage he's found that spot in the corner and nailed a 3. He just seems to ghost into that spot. Thank you very much.
I remember a few years ago, Kesselj was on that Akasvai Girona team that was coached by Svetislav Pezic that won the Euro Cup. But I don't think he got too much playing time then. He was much more in the developmental stage. Into the corner it goes. Sergio Yul. Wide open, so Yul's not on target yet for Spain. And Rubio comes up to disrupt Teodosic, who puts up the free throw line jumper. And Serbia now 2 straight baskets, takes them back to a 6-point advantage. Navarro going to come back in at the next opportunity for Spain. Mumbrú. And great board work from Vasquez. Takes it back outside. Serbia sitting in a 2-3 zone. Rubio penetrates it, gets it to Felipe Reyes, and again, Spain get it back. Boy, Reyes is struggling with his shot. Close to the basket. Yule for the running teardrop. Must have learned that one from Navarro.
I was going to say Spain seemed to have patented that particular shot.
Boy, Vasquez really has his hands full with Nenad Krstić. Savanovic. Now, are they going to give him that shot, or was the foul before?
Yep. And one.
Wow.
Terrific footwork there from Savanovic. Stepped through, kept his pivot foot down, and drew the foul. A disappointed Felipe Reyes comes out. Now that surprises me. Fran Vasquez comes out. He's having a great game, very intimidating inside.
I think he's coming out to catch his breath. Maybe he'll go back in. Still have not put... Okay, so it was on Reyes, the foul. Not on Rubio, but Reyes.
Savanovic for the and one.
So a terrific year at Caja Sol Sevilla for Savanovic. And he's moved to Valencia for this coming season. So he knows these Spanish players very well.
And all the hard work that Spain did to get back into the game, and they still trail by 7.
But now Navarro's in, their #1 weapon on offense. And he has the ball short. And good hustle from Rubio to keep it back for Spain. And Teodosic.
I think you can tell by the groans that the Spanish bench and the Spanish fans didn't like that foul.
2 fouls on Milos Teodosic. Well, I think you understand why.
I think you can safely say that Milos Teodosic doesn't take too many prisoners.
Rudy Fernandez in for Alex Mumbrú.
And it's only an out of bounds for Spain.
Yep, each team with 3 fouls here in the second quarter, so not yet into bonus. Garbajosa back in for Spain. 11 on the shot clock. Rubio hands it off. Marc Gasol. So Serbia fell asleep on that one.
Great penetration and dump off from Rubio. Back to a 5-point game.
I'm always amazed how you've got a zone out there which is supposed to close down any type of penetration, and it just doesn't sometimes. Milos Teodosic for 3.
Well, he's been getting his points inside the paint, but if he gets hot from the outside, Spain will have problems.
Well, about this time last year, Spain were already in control against Serbia. Not so this time. Navarro. And Garbajosa. Well, anything you can do, I can do as well, says Garbajosa.
That's his second 3. The veteran Spanish #4 player.
I think the game is being played at the tempo of Serbia that they want. And Krstić goes in for the dunk and is fouled, so he's going to get 2 shots.
Terrific bounce pass inside from Teodosic into Krstić.
And that foul was on Rudy Fernandez. And finally, having missed a couple, he's now got 3 points, Nenad Krstić. Seven-point advantage 3 minutes to go in the first half. Rudy Fernandez. And over to Garbajosa.
He's hot.
Well, that's what you call passing up what looks like a better shot to get the ball into the hands of somebody who can't miss right now, Jorge Garbajosa.
9 points to him, and they've all been from way downtown.
And Ricky Rubio got away with tugging on Teodosic's shirt, and he comes down with the rebound. I guess it's hard to catch everything out there if you're the officials. There's a lot of grabbing. Look at Garbajosa.
Teodosic replaced by Markovic. Yes, Jeff, a very sensible decision a few years ago by FIBA. Let's get 3 officials out there. They may see a little bit more.
Oh, yeah. Maybe we'll have 4 before you know it. Navarro. And Navarro tries to hand it off and now triggers a fast break into the hands of Kesselj. And he's going to call the charge on Garbajosa, who agrees.
Yeah, I think he got there just too late.
2 shots.
Yeah, Spain in the penalty. That's great to see. Great sportsmanship.
Wonder if the Spanish fans are nervous yet.
I don't think so. Very early days. Over 2 minutes to go in the first half. Hardly anything between these teams, really, despite the fact that Serbia now lead by 5. Well, I may be wrong.
Certainly that one was a little nervous. And Kesselj makes the second.
Ivan Pornic in for the first time. He plays terrific defense, number 7 for Serbia.
Yeah, he was outstanding against Croatia. I'm sure he was as well in Group A in Kayseri. Offensive foul called on Marc Gasol, clearing out Dusko Savanovic.
Yeah, just lent him with his left shoulder. And our 4th referee saw it.
So Teodosic just going to chill out for the rest of the first half here unless maybe they get a chance for a last-second shot. And Rubio called for a foul on Stefan Markovic.
And that's 2 shots.
No, good call again.
And Rubio takes a break, replaced by Sergio Llull.
Long way to go, but right now Serbia, their biggest lead has been 10. They lead right now by 6, but can go up by 8. Well, now they can go up by 7. This is the first one. Free throw shooting, just 6 of 11 for Serbia today. 55%. Misses both.
That is so unlike Serbia. If they lose this game by 1 or 2 points, then Coach Ivkovic is going to look at the stats of the foul shooting and think, what on earth went wrong there?
Navarro closely guarded by Kesselj. He's going to try to go past him. Into the lane, contact, and La Bamba trying to get the 3-point play. Mad with himself, Kesselj. Tough assignment for him, really. First foul on Kesselj. Part of that golden generation for Spain. Juan Carlos Navarro, Garbajosa as well. Well, 5-point deficit for Spain. Felipe Reyes struggling in the first half with his offense. He went home to Madrid on Sunday to have a neck injury looked at. Came back the following day. Full court pressure from Spain.
So both teams in the penalty now with 1:40 to go in the first half.
Garbajosa steps up. Spain trying to make Serbia work. Almost. That must have been right on 8 seconds there, close to it. Savanovic drives in, and the shot altered by the Spanish big man. That was really close, getting it, because I looked up, and there were 16 seconds on the shot clock just as he crossed over. And now Serbia pressure the Spanish ball handlers. Yul. And a turnover. Navarro claiming he was pushed. Here you go, watch this.
He's pushed out of bounds.
Well, it looked maybe he had his hand on him. I'm not sure he pushed him.
Whatever.
Certainly that was a good thing to argue, no doubt.
Whatever, Navarro still should have caught it with 2 hands, not 1.
Absolutely. And Krstić misses, but great rebound, and then a block from Marc Gasol. And Kessel's from the corner.
That is wonderful recycling by Serbia. A couple of block shots, found the man in the corner who buried it. It's back to 7.
Yul. Navarro. Draws the foul on Krstić, or Markovic. 3 on him.
And Navarro back on the foul line.
Yep, 3 fouls on Stefan Markovic. I don't think he's going to panic.
Fernando San Emeterio coming in for Rudy Fernandez.
Okay, so he's going to make the change. He's going to put Teodosic back in and tell him, whatever you do, don't pick up your 3rd foul. Good player, Stefan Markovic. He'll be playing at Benetton Treviso this year, having been at Hema Farm in Versace, along with Matchman. And how in the world does that stay out? Juan Carlos Navarro, great free throw shooter, makes the 2nd one.
Averaging 16 points in the tournament, and he's on 16 points today.
Well, the final minute here of the first half, and Serbia right now edging it ever so slightly. Savanovic blocked again from Marc Gasol. And Krstić takes his time and goes up against Gasol. 8-point advantage. So Spain pretty much going to hold it for the last shot here.
Game and shot clock more or less synchronized.
Going to look for the double team. Here it comes. 3 on the shot clock, or 3 on the clock rather. And Serbia hold out. Teodosic gets it off and misses. But I think Serbia will be very happy with an 8-point lead at halftime. Very confident start for them. Spain have a lot of work to do. The world champions are in trouble.
And Coach Ivkovic wants a quiet word with the officials. And the American referee, Bill Kennedy, says, okay, I'll talk to you later. Well, Spain just have the edge on the boards, but points in the paint to his disposal. I would not be surprised if he goes a long way down his bench now. What he's asked his players to do is put relentless defensive pressure on Spain, and it has worked. And to my mind, a man on a mission is Milos Teodosic, who had a poor weekend, the weekend of the Final Four in Paris against Barcelona. Ricky Rubio, Juan Carlos Navarro's Barcelona. He was sick that weekend, and I'm convinced that he's got it in his mind to make sure that he gets revenge here, albeit in a Serbian shirt. Yeah, who would have thought that Spain, who won all their group games in Athens, would come up against the United States, who had a poor group stage, and then they lost to them in the quarterfinals.
Well, Spain, you get the feeling that they want to push the tempo up the tempo. They haven't been allowed to by Serbia, and that's pretty crucial. Serbia in the 2-3 zone, and foul called on Kosta Perovic, and Jorge Garbajosa, frustrated, say, what took you so long?
Well, the big number 13 for Serbia, Kosta Perovic, is just wiping the blood from his nose or his teeth, I think. He's just got Marc Gasol's elbow in his face. It wasn't there, it was just before then.
To be fair, there's not much more he can do on defense in that situation. But the referees have been calling fouls when there's contact. Even when the defenders are pretty much standing straight up with their arms raised.
Be alert for some kind of pressure defense now from Spain. Players pointing at each other. Just getting their positions correctly. Here we go.
A good start for Spain, and Garbajosa making the 2 free throws. Spain definitely want to quicken the pace of the game.
And the foul is Ricky Rubio holding Miloš Teodosic.
He's just been a picture of frustration at this FIBA World Championship. And in fact, it looked almost like both players were kind of wrestling. Rubio trying to stick with Teodosic, who runs off the screens. Veličković, his foot on the line, and had those 10 first quarter points. Perovic comes down with a rebound. Spent some time in the NBA, but decided to come back to Europe and really played well at Power Electronics Valencia, particularly under Neven Spyha.
Particularly with Matt Nielsen alongside him as well at Valencia.
Paunic into the corner of Veličković. 2 on the shot clock. And 3 seconds called against Serbia.
One of very few 3-second violations called in this World Championship so far. It has to be pretty obvious to attract the attention of the referees.
Well, you feel the sense of urgency in the play of Juan Carlos Navarro. The question is it in this as well with Rudy? And he's fouled shooting a 3-pointer. And really, the look on Dusan Ivkovic's face on the Serbian bench is, why did we commit a bonehead play like that? That means 3 free throws, and also it's Bjelica's 3rd foul. Here's another look at it.
Well, you've got to give it to Rudy there. He knew exactly what he was doing. Sorry, Rudy Fernandez knew exactly what he was doing through both hands to make sure the referee saw the contact. Spain chipping away from the foul line.
Former Eurocup MVP with TKV Juventud, his longtime club. Rudy Fernandez has been in the NBA with Portland the last couple of seasons since the 2008 Olympics, and he pulls his club to within 2.
5 from 5 from the line at the beginning of this second half for Spain.
In fact, three-point lead for Serbia. And the pressure. Can Serbia kind of stabilize the ship here? Teodosic comes in, turns it over. Good help defense from Spain. Now it's Navarro and the chance to run for Spain. 3-pointer for Garbajosa. Good! He is on fire! Timeout, Dusan Ivkovic. Having done all that great work before halftime, Jorge Garbajosa now starting very well in the second half, getting the 2 free throws and now the 3-pointer, and Spain have pulled level.
8 without reply for Spain. And that 8-0 run was ended with George Garbajosa's 4th 3-pointer. He's not interested in scoring from the paint. He only wants to score from the next suburb.
Well, Garbajosa, you talk to anybody in Spain, and he is Spanish. He's a legend for the decisions he's made to represent his country and put his career at risk. Pretty much ended his NBA career with Toronto when he decided to play at Eurobasket 2007. Had a serious injury while playing with the Raptors, and Garbajosa bringing the Spanish back.
And putting a smile on the face of young Ricky Rubio. 49 plays 49.
Same thing happened against Greece as well, as full court pressure. Also, Rudy Fernandez came out much better in the second half. Into the game for Spain, double dribble called against Serbia. Razic back into the game for Serbia. Raseljan as well.
Razic undecided there whether to shoot or pass, and in the end, he committed a pretty basic turnover, double dribble.
For Veličković. And now Rudy slips, comes up, and fouled before the shot, and now Teodosic is losing it just a little bit. Ivkovic not happy. Everything that looked so great for Serbia at halftime, suddenly starting to unravel.
Serbia got to be very careful here. That's their third team foul and third against Teodosic.
And Markovic also has 3 fouls, so the 2 point guards. Navarro left open in the corner. That's a mistake, but they get away with it. However, Serbia lacks on the rebounding. And I think Perovic is going to pay the penalty for not getting over to collect that rebound. Oh, great play from Razic now. Sparking his team with a D. And
travel.
He's called for the travel. Great hustle by Ricky Rubio to get back on defense.
Again, indecision from Serbia. Do I pass? Do I shoot? And in the end, a poor turnover. 1, 2, 3. Well.
Just a little obvious.
Goodness gracious. Serbia, what are you doing?
Navarro and the teardrop. Spain starting the second half on a 10-0 run have taken a 2-point lead. Serbia just seemed to have lost their concentration. And much of that's down to the Spanish defense. Razic into the lane. Back out to Kesselj. He can hit the 3, and it does!
Serbia's first score of this second period, nearly 3 minutes. And it was deep into the shot clock as well.
Garbajosa on the land. Oh, but a follow-up by Ricky Rubio. Terrific. You know, Ricky Rubio really has been saving his best for the second half the last couple of games. He's unrecognizable from what he was playing in the first half.
Spain by 1. Who would have thought?
They've given that basket to Garbajosa, though. Maybe they'll change that. Teodosic for 3. And good hustle from both teams. Comes away with Serbia, and Garbajosa. Oh, the Argentinian ref is calling the unsportsmanlike foul. The referee underneath the basket saw it.
Now, Jeff, I wouldn't disagree with that. Garbajosa made no attempt for the ball. Arms around him. That's unsportsmanlike. Yep. To my mind, that's quality refereeing. Let's have a look. Yep. Just grabbed his arm.
Well, I think if they're going to make that call, we're going to be seeing a lot of unsportsmanlike fouls for the rest of the day, because we see it all the time. Krstić at the line. Knotted at 53. And now Serbia in front. So Serbia, having struggled from the free throw line in the first half, make a couple here to go back up on top. Both teams really hot under the collar right now. It has to be said. You can feel the intensity. Rubio trying to get something from his defense. Trying to come up with a steal, and the ball goes out of bounds.
Off Rubio's foot. 12 on the shot clock.
Well, I don't think it was an intentional kick, so I don't think they're going to reset it.
Serbia are asking for a reset. They're not going to get it.
Yeah, they are going to reset it.
It has to be intentional.
If it was intentional, that's a good call. I couldn't see it from here. Teodosic now. And Teodosic, great defense from Marc Gasol. Razic tries to bother Rubio. Navarro passes up the 3. Back outside to Rubio, who decides not to shoot it. And Kesselj fouls Navarro.
And what amazes me there is not a single Serbian player asking for, or sort of Spanish player asking for an unsportsmanlike. Let's have a look. This is a tough foul.
Just a trip. Gasol over to Navarro now. Well, this thing is really heating up. Navarro for 3, short. Haven't seen him miss it that badly in quite some time, Navarro. Krstić trying to set the pick, trying to free Teodosic. Velickovic. And now Teodosic working against Garbajosa, and great defense again from Garbajosa, and this time Rubio comes up with a steal. And Garbajosa dances his way around Razic. He just does so many things, Jorge Garbajosa.
Coach Ivkovic needs to get Teodosic out and have a little chat with him. Some very poor turnovers in the last couple of offenses.
Velickovic for three. Good! And Novica Velickovic comes right back. And just after we've seen one El Clasico, we're going to see another one. Rudy Fernandez drives into the lane and draws the foul. I did not see the foul. I'm not sure who fouled him. Certainly so nobody on the Serbian bench saw the foul. I think he's saying that Keselj pushed him as he left his feet. You have to applaud Rudy Fernandez for recognizing, oh boy, Teodosic comes out of the game, recognizing he could drive to the hoop.
Great poise and balance from Rudy Fernandez. And he gets the and one as well. Another lead change. Spain now by 1.
Serbia doing a good job of keeping their emotions in control on that one. I've seen plenty of cases where that might not have been the case. Radzic into Markovic and Krstić. And Krstić, great defense from Spain. And he goes up and gets a chance for a three-point play. Now look at the emotion.
That's how to stay at the rebound. Krstić, 3 shots and finally gets the and one.
Well, he plays at the highest level with Oklahoma City against a lot of great leapers and shot blockers. He knows how to put the ball up.
And Garbajosa, his 3rd foul.
Garbajosa, great rebounding there from Krstić.
The lead changes hands again, and now it's, well, it stays at a 1 point.
I thought Velickovic was going to come down with a board. But Serbia failed to capitalize. 9 of 16 at the line for Serbia, 56%. Marc Gasol. Markovic going to help out. And Yul, great defense by Serbia now. And down to Velickovic, who was bumped, no call. And Ivkovic is beside himself. Now Yul goes the other way. And he hands off to Marc Gasol, and he draws the foul from Nenad Krstić. And I would not be surprised if Serbia did lose it, because those are some tough no calls going against Serbia.
Great strength inside from Marc Gasol. And as you said, Coach Ivkovic, well,
I mean, to be fair to the officials there, Krstić left his feet and definitely put his hands on Gasol, so you can understand why they made the call, but it did look like Velickovic had been bumped at the other end.
That was definitely a foul committed on Marc Gasol, but as you say, at the other end, who knows? Ivkovic, I think he knows.
Well, missed free throw. Reyes with the board. Reyes has come in. Yul over to Reyes. Puts the ball on the ground.
No double dribble call.
And great defense from Serbia. And they get the ball back.
Krstić knocked it against Rudy Fernandez.
Well, I have to tell you, Felipe Reyes is having an absolute nightmare when he gets the ball inside. I mean, he's taking it in himself. He's looking like the Felipe Reyes of the Eurobasket 2005.
Well, over the years, he's been a phenomenal rebounder, but you've got to think he's only 6'8". Oh, what defense again from Spain.
But
and they give it away.
Radzic. Oh, great defense from Rudy. Now he's going to go. He's going to pull it back. And now he's going to go back to the hoop. Oh, and if he'd made that, they would have gone crazy. I think the Spanish crowd wants the unsportsmanlike, but none's going to be given. Spain's bench being told to sit down. Velickovic, first foul on him.
Wonderful offense there from Rudy Fernandez.
Watch the play. He decides to go back in, and I think Velickovic just took a swipe at the ball. Nothing bad about that.
Well, the Serbian defense thought he was going to play in the half court and wait for his teammates or the cavalry to arrive, but no, straight to the hoop, reverse layup, and gets the foul. Spain by 1.
Well, he's had his struggle shooting the ball today. He's got 8 points. Spain's fans feeling just a little bit better, including the guys with the bald caps. And he makes the second. It's a 3-point advantage. And now Spain's full court pressure. You know, they read that give and go at the other end, or the pick and roll. Yule came up with a steal, but then lost it, and they almost get the 5-second violation. Velickovic gets it past Felipe Reyes, takes it all the way in. What a great play from Velickovic. Boy, that was gritty basketball. I mean, he is playing world class today, Velickovic. Bounce pass, great defense from Krstic and Markovic.
That's how to defend the pick and roll. Krstic against Gasol.
Back to Teodosic for three, hands it to the hot man, and Velickovic is blocked by Marc Gasol, whose defense has been terrific today. Yule into the corner to Rudy for three, off the rim. Now Velickovic with a chance to go the other way. Let's catch our breath here for a second.
No chance. These players won't let us.
Teodosic hands it back off to Velickovic.
Great pass, Teodosic.
Boy, Velickovic playing the best game I've ever seen him play right now. He is possessed. 17 points for Novica Velickovic.
Well, in the mayhem, believe it or not, Serbia have regained the lead. They lead by one.
Navarro for three. Rims out. Great follow-up from Rudy. Good defense from Milos Teodosic. Somebody come and get Novica Velickovic out of the game. He's been running his heart out. And they didn't see him. He asked to come out.
Rubio back in for Spain.
Oh, 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. I don't know if I can take another 12 minutes of this. Rubio fouled by Markovic. That's his fourth foul.
Been called offensive.
Oh, my goodness. Offensive foul called on Ricky Rubio.
And that's Ricky Rubio's fourth.
No, they're calling it on Felipe Reyes for setting the pick. Good. Yep. Excellent call by the referee. Sliding in too late.
Yeah, American referee.
And Serbia leading it by one. It's anybody's game right now, Roy.
Well, the question was asked at halftime, what has Spain got to do? Well, they did exactly that. They had a 10-0 start.
Great three-point shooting, really, from both teams. Although in the second half, the first half, Serbia 7 of 13, Spain 7 of 15. So, but the free throws have been a problem for Serbia.
Yeah, they could have had a 15-point lead at halftime.
Well, he got his wish. He finally came out of the game. He was signaling to come out, and they weren't going to bring him out until Spain called the timeout. Look at Velickovic, what he has done today. He's done everything. Offense, defense. Only one Carlos Navarro's 18 points is a greater tally. And I don't think we've seen the last of Velickovic. He's just going to catch his breath and get back out there. Markovic, Serbia trying to land their biggest win of this tournament. And Savanovic doesn't hold on to it.
Good
Rudy,
hand.
back over to Rubio. And Teodosic picks up, nope, another offensive foul called on Spain. Again, trying to set the pick, Fran Vasquez. And you have to say, great job by the official.
Well, Bill Kennedy doesn't like moving screens, the American referee. That's been his last two calls, and that's another moving screen. Dusko Savanovic lays Ricky Rubio out this time.
Well, I've never seen so many fouls called on moving screens in quick succession. That's 3 in the last 15 live seconds of play. 2 against Spain, 1 against Serbia. Spain wanting to quicken the tempo as much as possible. Vasquez, once again,
same guy.
4 in a row.
Same player, Fran Vasquez. Bill Kennedy doesn't like that backside moving.
Well, this is history in the making, folks. 4 quick ones. Incredible.
I'm not sure now is the time to send a message like that, though, about moving screens. Beginning of the game, perhaps.
4 moving screens in 35 seconds.
Savanovic. And at this stage of the game, 3 points is a big lead.
We have to wonder about the psychology if that might affect Spain a little bit, having had 3 moving screens. There's one that wasn't called. Rudy Fernandez. And good board from Fran Vasquez, who takes that ball down like he's a little angry inside the final minute of the 3rd quarter.
It's almost as though Fran Vasquez has telescopic arms. One of them snaked out, grabbed the rebound, and put Spain within 1.
Yule comes out, guards Teodosic. And gets back so he can't lay it off to Krstić, but Krstić gets it dumped over, and now Spain will hold it for 1 shot.
Another great pass there from Teodosic. Good understanding with him and Nenad Krstić.
Serbia have done a great job of weathering the storm. They're back up on top by 3. Almost a charge. Yule short and maybe took it a little too soon. They're going to get a shot off here. Teodosic, a long one, but is short. So Serbia kind of lost their grip on the match, on the game, but have come right back and have taken a 3-point lead.
Well, all credit to both teams for this display of great fighting spirit. Spain trailed by 8 at the half, came in with 10 in a row, and Serbia said, no way, we're going to stay in this game, and Serbia now leads Spain by 3. Rebound so close, Spain just have the edge. And if anything, the worst stat there as far as Serbia concerned, 8 from 15 from the line. If they lose this in a close one, well.
That was crazy. You know, looking at this box score just makes me think, who's really standing out for Serbia? And other than Velickovic, who's obvious, 17 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists. Nenad Krstić, 12 points, 8 rebounds. And he didn't start the game. Not bad for a guy who, you know, had to serve that 3-game ban.
There's Teodosic inside. That was in the first period. Hit 9 points at halftime, and he hasn't added to that since. Just very, very young Serbian team on the brink, but they have the world champions, a proud world champions, up against them, determined to make the semi-final.
That was crazy, though. I think there were good calls, but I've just never seen so many moving screens called in the space of 35 seconds. There were 4. 3 called against Spain, a couple on Vasquez and 1 on Reyes, and then 1 against Serbia.
It just may have been a situation where the referees had a chat with each other and said, we've got to cut all these moving screens out. Let's do it now.
Savanovic against Reyes. And great move from Savanovic. 5-point advantage.
Felipe Reyes was left for dead there. Poor footwork from him, but great pivot. Great movement from Savanovic.
Alex Mumbrú starts the 4th quarter for Spain, and that's 4 on Markovic.
Great first step there from Navarro. Left Markovic for dead.
Try to isolate Navarro and just let him go to the basket, I think. And try to foul out Markovic. Could be what they'll do. Here he comes again. Krstić comes out to guard him. And tough shot for Navarro. Not sure he would take that again if he had it. And over to Savanovic. Fast break. Hands it off. Mumbrou tries to draw the charge. Kessel's left open. He's money.
You don't leave that guy open.
7-point lead, 8-point lead for Serbia. Well, that was a big sequence, and Markovic is fouled out of the game. And that's really interesting. Clearly a better defensive player. Just a little bit out of control. Stefan Markovic goes to the bench with 5 fouls.
Milenko Tepic now, number 5, has the responsibility of trying to keep Juan Carlos Navarro quiet.
And he's also fresh, Tepic. Bounce pass, in it goes, and Vasquez fouled. Serbia thought they got away with it.
Let's say that was a late call.
Very late. We've seen a couple of late calls. Foul on Krstic.
Now Serbia lead by 8, but they have committed 3 fouls to Spain's 0 in this 4th period.
Well, the foul on Marko Kelsic. It should be on Krstic. That's what I thought. So the third foul on Krstic. I just don't understand why there's such a delay in the call. 7-point lead.
Well, the Spanish bench hit the roof when there was no call, and then suddenly there was a call.
And I thought they might call Mumbrou into the lane early there, but they didn't call it. 6-point game. Plenty of time. Serbia have the wind in their sails right now. Teodosic for 3. And great rebound from Nenad Krstic.
And Teodosic says, right, let's make them work now. New shot clock.
Over to Savanovic, now guarded by Garbajosa. Spin move from Savanovic. A little bit of isolation and just took Garbajosa to school.
Well, 2 veterans on the Spanish side, Felipe Reyes and George Garbajosa, have
well, that's 4 on
schooled.
Teodosic now. 4th foul. And Ivkovic not happy about that.
And again, great sportsmanship. Teodosic just walks up to Ricky Rubio and apologizes. And then comes out and replaced by Alexander Rasic.
Ivkovic will coach Teodosic at Olympiacos coming up. So Rasic back into the game. Rubio. And the 3 from Rubio, good. Well, who said Ricky Rubio can't shoot it? He drains it. 5-point lead. That is supposed to be the weak link in his game, but took that shot with confidence.
You know, I was watching him at halftime. He never hit anything from the outside. That's the first one he's taken this period. And as you say, he drained it. Savanovic.
He's the player with the confidence for Serbia, but he was getting his points on drives to the basket. Tepic.
Again, 7 seconds in the backcourt for Spain.
Well, good job from Milenko Tepic. And another pick. And up it goes from Rubio. And the battle for the board, and it's won by Serbia. Great hustle from Tepic and Kesselj. Over to Krstic at midcourt. Savanovic left wide open for 3. Count it!
Well, with the exception of the Spanish fans, the whole arena erupted then on that hustle and the 3.
Just admiration for the great play and contact in the foul. Was it Kesselj? Milenko Tepic. 7-point advantage. Rudy Fernandez wants to come back in for Spain.
One from 2 last time he was at the line for Navarro. No problem with the first though this time.
Well, Spain 17 of 19, 89%. Serbia 8 of 15, 53%, but they lead it by 7. 6-point game, but you really have to tip your hat to Savanovic. He has been fully deserving of his place in this Serbia squad this summer.
Had a great group phase in Kayseri. Here he is again. 3 seconds.
3 seconds.
Yeah, foot just over that foul line in the paint.
But, you know, if you think about as Rudy comes back in from Umbro, some of the players who didn't make it for Serbia, like Raduljica, Tripkovic, Bogdanovic, although some of those are out through injuries. Tough decisions to make for Dusan Ivkovic, without question.
Testament to the strength of the great Yugoslav production line.
And Navarro slips and falls down. Wasn't bumped. We've seen it a few times today.
Six and a half to go, and Serbia leads Spain by 6. Remember this quarterfinal action. Okay, the losers will stay for the classification, but that's the last thing on their mind. They don't want 5, 6, 7, or 8 positions. They want 1.
Absolutely. Savanovic, entry pass to Nenad Krstic. Milenko Tepic shoots at the free throw line. Good. Everything's going in now for the Serbians. Playing with confidence. Root and Navarro drives in and scores. How in the world?
Well, I'm struggling for words to describe that. I think outrageous from Navarro.
Well, he certainly doesn't want to go to his left hand, does he? Spain in a 2-3 zone. Krstic.
Patient play from Krstic. Foul, Ricky Rubio. That's his 4th.
Yep, 4 fouls on Ricky Rubio.
And that clock is going very, very slowly. Still 5:46 to go in the 4th.
Well, Sergio Llull's going to come in for Ricky Rubio.
Rubio goes out on 3 points. 4 fouls, 3 points.
Hasn't been able to get anything going in transition, Ricky Rubio. Serbia's done a great job getting back. Just 11 fast break points for Spain, 9 for Serbia.
Belichka back in for Serbia.
Tepic. Teodosic. Llull on him. Cross court, Tepic left wide open. Rims out for the Panathinaikos man. Navarro. And almost loses it, and does lose it, but it goes out of bounds to Spain. Serbia unable to come up with it.
Serbia well aware of the threat that Juan Carlos Navarro poses, and he was confronted with a double team in the corner there, and a little bit fortunate to come out with possession.
Well, the chance of España for Spain. And those are coming from the VIP section. And the pass goes out of bounds, almost out of bounds. How in the world did how did Rudy Fernandez save that, get his balance, and throw it off a Serbian player? Spain finding it extremely difficult against the Serbian D right now.
Great awareness there from Fernandez. Almost lost it, threw it against an opponent.
Well,
and the foul.
Oh, what a play on the inbound. You cannot give that away if you're Serbia. And it's Bjelica who falls asleep and picks up his 4th foul. Fernandez goes to the line with a chance to cut the deficit to just 3 points.
Yeah, Bjelica straight off the bench and really wasn't aware of what was going on out there. As you say, fell asleep. And the and one is completed, and now it's a 2-point game.
No, 3-point game. 79-76, midway through the 4th quarter. Teodosic over to Bjelica. Can he make amends with a 3? Yes, he does. That's big time right there.
That's how to respond for making a mistake. Hit a big 3 at the other end, and it's back to a 6-point game now.
Serbia 12 of 23 from 3-point range.
Oh, backdoor.
Well, nice pass from Marc Gasol. No fear for Navarro going in amongst the trees.
And the thing about that pass was Gasol actually said to the Serbs, I'm going to bounce it in there, and he did.
He couldn't have telegraphed it anymore. And Krstić, foul called against Garbajosa, I believe.
And that's only Spain's,
no, Gasol.
Only Spain's second of the period.
Well, we've talked about it already. 8 of 15 at the free throw line for Serbia, 53%. But from long range, they're almost shooting better than that. 52%, 12 of 23. Go figure that. Well, somebody call the free throw doctor right now for Serbia.
It beggars belief that such a good team can shoot so poorly from that 15 feet line.
I mean, they are shooting better from three-point range than from the free throw line. Very strange. Makes the second one. 5-point advantage. Still plenty of time, 4.5 minutes to go, but if you're a Spanish fan and you weren't nervous before, well, you're certainly nervous now. Fernandez. Boy, the Spaniards can hardly keep on their feet today. Navarro hands it off. Should have shot it. Gasol wasn't ready, and Bjelica was there for the steal.
A rare occasion there when Juan Carlos Navarro goes inside and comes up empty-handed.
Savanovic! Unbelievable. The Serbians are just killing Spain right now from three-point range. Spain call a timeout. 13 of 24 from behind the arc. Savanovic having one of his best games, 15 points.
The Serbs in the crowd are loving it. And the Spaniards, Felipe Reyes there, can't believe it. His team trail by 8, having done all the hard work since halftime.
Well, Serbia had an awful start to the second half and have overcome that. And now they're back up by 8 points, their biggest lead of the game. That was at 10 points back in the first half. I wonder if Navarro, if he could do it all over again, if he would have shot that ball the last time down the floor for Spain instead of trying to hand it off to Gasol, who wasn't ready.
Well, Gasol had 3 men surrounding him. Everyone expected Navarro to shoot, I think.
That's the story right there, that three-point shooting for Serbia. Teodosic just 1 of 6, but Bjelica 3 of 3, Savanovic 2 of 4, Kesselj 4 of 5, Velickovic 3 of 5, and
I just saw Rudy Fernandez pointing to one of his teammates and looking at his forearms. I think he thinks he's been fouled somewhat.
Well, it's now or never for the world champions. Ricky Rubio over to Garbajosa for 3. Off the rim, but the long rebound. I guess that's one of the advantages of shooting a 3. Sometimes you tend to get more long rebounds. Yule passes it up over to Rubio. Misses, but Garbajosa follows and gets a chance for a 3-point play. Just when Serbia thought maybe they were about ready to land the knockout punch, they get bailed out when they fail to box out.
And Bjelica is out.
Yep, Bjelica picks up his 5th foul. And Kesselj checks in as his replacement.
Garbajosa on the line for Spain on 18 points.
Well, that one couldn't have worked out any better for Spain, because now, if he makes this, they'll have a chance to set up their press.
And Navarro on the bench for Spain.
Well, he missed it, and Serbia do come away with the rebound. So big miss for Jorge Garbajosa. Teodosic. Guarded by Yule. 10 on the shot clock now. Teodosic. They set the screen for him. Hands it back off to Krstić. And travel called against Nenad Krstić. So good pressure that time from Spain. 3 minutes and 14 seconds to go. Boy, close games all the way around. Brazil and Argentina. Argentina win it last night. Now it's Serbia on top of Spain. And great shot from Marc Gasol. 86-82. Under 3 minutes to go. Spain trying to keep the defense right in their face. Long one from Teodosic, no good. But the long rebound goes out back to Serbia.
Came off the rim, new shot clock. Just clipped the rim. Foul Barbosa. And that's Spain's third. Still have one to give.
And I'm not sure. No, they're going to say not when he was shooting it. That's why he's trying to fling it up there.
Barbosa on 4 fouls now as well.
That was Gasol's shot that brought Spain to within 4. Savanovic, key player today for this Serbian team. Bounce pass to Krstić, who wasn't ready. And it goes back to Serbia. 10 on the shot clock. Tepic guarded by Barbosa for 3. And Rudy goes way up for the rebound. Now Rubio. 2:09 remaining. It's a 4-point game. Rudy goes soaring in and scores. 2 big plays for Rudy Fernandez. And Ivkovic has called a timeout for Serbia. Look at him soar in. The go-to man. You want to give it to somebody who's got the positive body language.
Rudy Fernandez, a great defensive rebound and then great penetration. And Spain have scored 6 without reply. Exactly, 2 minutes, 1 second remaining. It's a 2-point game.
15 points for Rudy Fernandez. Serbia, having played so well, and just like we were talking about last night, if they lose this game, it'd be a heartbreaker. And Spain are going to feel awful as well. You don't want to see either of these teams lose. Bjelica's fouled out, as has Markovic, Teodosic with 4, Rubio and Barbosa, as you mentioned, each with 4 fouls.
Well, the Spanish timeout a lot more positive than it was 2 minutes ago. As indeed are the fans.
Just a reminder, these two teams played in the gold medal game of the Eurobasket 1 year ago. That one was won by Spain at a canter, having lost earlier to Serbia in the preliminary round.
22 points that game was. And what a difference a year makes.
Serbia edged Croatia to get to this game. Spain came from behind to beat Greece. Now, inside 2 minutes, Yule's the man charged with guarding Teodosic. Tepic. Krstić sets the high pick. Tepic gets around, hands it back to Kessel. It's the 3-point shooter. Puts up a tough one and he makes it. Can you believe it? What a shot from Marko Krstić. Marko Krstić has been on fire. 5 of 6 from 3-point range. 17 points.
That is an amazing shot. Rudy Fernandez actually got a hand on the ball then. So the 3 went in and it was partially blocked.
Serbia 14 of 27 from 3-point range. They are shooting lights out. Barbosa. Now Yule drives in. Over to Navarro, who's come back in. He answers for 3. Oh, what a classic. What a classic. I'm going to have to go get my heart checked after these last 2 games. Is the ticker working? Teodosic guarded closely by Yule. Tepic left open for 3. And Barbosa with the rebound. Over to Navarro. Is he going to pull it up or is he going to go down? He goes up. Great defense from Milinko Tepic. And a good job as well. I think, from the referees not to call the foul on Serbia.
Eventually the foul called on Sergio Llull, and now both teams in the penalty.
Navarro was all about initiating the contact that last time down. And I think it was a good no call from the referee.
Excellent no call, yep. Referee has to think who made the contact, and pretty obvious there, the man with the ball. 85% of fouls are called on the defense, and that one certainly called. Well, it wasn't called. That's a good no call. Look at the wrestling match there.
Tepic, Teodosic, he's hit 1-3 today. Gets behind his back pass over to Veličković, who's come back in, and Rudy goes up. Serbia say the ball goes off of Spain. But Estevez, the Argentinian referee, gives it back to Spain. Crucial. Here's another look at, well, very close call. That's all I can say.
Spain in possession. They trail by 2, 37 seconds remaining in regulation.
Fingernail biting time. They get the ball in the hands of Navarro. Hands it off to Marc Gasol, who scores. 25.8 seconds remaining. Serbia going to call a timeout. What a classic game between two of Europe's finest teams.
Great pass there from Navarro. Fake for the three. Found the man inside. Gasol did the necessary. Tied things up. Anguish.
Dusan Ivkovic drew up some good plays against Croatia late in the game. What's he going to come with on this time? And don't forget, Spain are going to probably apply that full court pressure. They're not going to let him bring it up and just take one shot.
Both teams in the penalty.
9 of 17 from the line for Serbia. Oh, and Guti, I believe it is, from Real Madrid. Maybe not. 48% from three-point range for Serbia. Just a phenomenal shooting display from them, and especially Marko Keselj. I think Ivkovic, of all the things that he's done this summer, has picked the perfect squad for this tournament. He left out some names that, you know, some people question, and Keselj has been a huge player for them.
And all credit to Coach Ivkovic, who's relied upon some very young players. Tied up.
I would think you would have to try to free up Keselj if you can.
Or Savanovic.
I mean, Savanovic can put the ball on the floor and drive to the basket.
The 5 he's got out there tells me he's not going to go inside. He's looking for a three-pointer. Kristic is on the bench.
Well, remember, this is exactly as happened against Croatia. They passed the ball inbounds to a sprinting Razic.
Yeah, they got a layup somehow, but not this time.
Yule, the man guarding Teodosic. Teodosic, 1 of 7 from three-point range, but he can go off at any time. Garbajosa comes up. 8-7 on the shot clock. It's white knuckle time, baby. Fasten your seatbelt. Teodosic hits the three. Serbia has taken a 3-point lead.
3 seconds left, and Serbia lead by 3. Timeout, Spain.
Great players make great plays, and Milos Teodosic, despite having made just 1 of 7 from three-point range today, takes the shot from way downtown that may have just ended the title defense of Spain.
What a shot. Teodosic, 6'5", had Garbajosa, 6'9", in his face, and he still nailed the clutch score with 3 seconds to go.
Well, 3 seconds to go. You just have to expect Serbia will not allow Spain to take a three-pointer. They're going to foul, and they're going to have to be careful that they don't foul while they're shooting a three-pointer.
They're going to be careful they don't foul and make it unsportsmanlike as well. They've got to go for the ball.
Well, they've had to wait almost a year to the date of getting beat by Spain in the gold medal game. As you look at Teodosic, who was in that all-tournament team last year, he's had to deal with the controversy of the brawl in Athens, and no question about it, raises both arms to the air as to say, that's right, baby. It's Milos Teodosic time.
Interesting, Teodosic is now on the bench. Coach Ivkovic does not want to give away a 3-shot foul.
Well, it's Navarro, Rudy, Garbajosa, Yule, and Ricky Rubio on the court. They're going to set something up. Garbajosa. And he loses it. Serbia have upset the world and European champion Spain. They have knocked out one of the great teams at this FIBA World Championship. They deserve it without question. And one of the Spanish players boots the ball into row H. Serbia march on to the semifinals. Spain and all of their fans who have traveled here to Istanbul are going to leave disappointed.
Unbelievable scenes here in Turkey. Serbia celebrates, and the inquest on that last out-of-bounds play from Spain has been going on for the last minute or so. They applaud their fans now, but they can't believe what they just did on that out-of-bounds.
Well, it was a tough play, trying to get the inbound. Spain's fans applauding their team and Serbia. Spain's players as well congratulating the Serbia coaches. The game was physical at times, but it was played in a good spirit. And you have to say, the way Serbia have come in here and had some adversity, they've dealt with it in the best way possible. They have won and now into the semifinals. And I believe they will play the winner of the next game between Turkey and Slovenia.
Well, we've got to catch our breath here in Istanbul. We've had 2 cracking games in a row. Argentina beat Brazil by 3, and now Serbia, they've done the same to Spain. The world champions, they've been dethroned.
It's just 9 of 17 at the free throw line from Serbia, but their three-point shooting was excellent, so probably not too many people are going to talk about that. And Carlos Navarro with the 27 points. I'm afraid the talking point really is going to be the balance in that Serbian side in the three-point shooting, especially from Marko Kesel.